So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the seminar about smart technologies and industrial software organized by the EU SME Centre, the Italian Chamber of Commerce, as well as the British Chamber of Commerce. So, key events will be both online and offline. For those who are joining us offline, we will request to fill a form. And meanwhile, for those online, we will request to giving us a feedback by scanning the QR code you will see from last page of our slideshow. Also for those online, we will be very grateful if you can join us by raising your question. I'm Giada Piccinini, board member of the Italian Chamber of Commerce, and I will be the moderator for today's event. It's been a pleasure being here with the speaker and being the moderator of the event. It's a pleasure introducing the speaker, representing a company with such an experience and deep knowledge on the subject, as well as a long experience in China. So as all of us know, being able to run operation in China as efficiently as possible is fundamental for success in the business world. Modernization of companies in various industries and boost the future. The current changes in the manufacturing industries, in the logistics, and the supply chain, it's clear to everyone and the business and fail to adopt manufacturing technologies and practices risk being to be left behind. So we are here today for sharing experiences and knowledge on software, remote assistance, intelligence automation, as well as cloud solutions that can help all of our business. So this seminar will be divided into two parts. During the first one, our Melanie, consultant of this video consulting, will show us and explain us the report drafted for the EU SME Centre, and report really useful for understanding industrial software, where she's going to explain us the market access regulation, opportunities, challenges, and also the policies, important policies that companies can apply for. Then, during the second part of this event, we will have some real experiences from managers from different companies. We will start with Alberto BESTAO, our sales director for Wurth, that we talk about all maintenance and remote assistance by using mixed reality platform. That Wurth CEO of Roboris SRL will explain as Eureka Virtual Marchining, which provides advanced simulation and optimization of NC program for CNC and industrial robots that must do from ERP system China will explain the importance of the ERP system over the control of our business. Last but not least, we will have Robert from Fastems that will explain us the manufacturing management system in the manufacturing industry. So before starting, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Erika Jorgensen from the European Chamber of Commerce that support and track the sector.
Thank you, Giada, for the introduction. Let me also clarify. I am currently working for the EU SME Centre training center. So welcome from EU SME Centre to the industrial software seminar today. So most of us might already be familiar with us, but let me give you a brief introduction of the EU SME Centre, of what we do, who we are, so that everyone would have a clear picture. So the EU SME Centre is a European Union initiative funded under the Single Market Programme that provides a comprehensive range of hands-on support services to European small and medium-sized enterprises, getting them ready to do business in China market. So first launched back in 2010 and currently in its fourth phase, EU SME Centre is implemented by a consortium of 6 partners and associated partners. The centre provides advice and support mainly in 4 areas, including business development, law, standards and conformity, and human resources. So the EU SME Centre offers a variety of free of charge services. And with the next slide, we're going to explore those services in more detail. So the first service I would like to mention is the self-diagnosis tool. It is an online tool that SMEs can use to measure their readiness towards China market by answering a set of questions. It is a recommended tool for all SMEs that are planning to do business in China. If we could move to the next slide, please, as well. Yeah, thank you. So I'm continuing with the services. Through the EU SME Centre's website, companies can access our knowledge center, which is a comprehensive library of market reports, guides, and case studies to improve SMEs' knowledge in the China market. So today, Melanie Lee will provide an overview of one of our upcoming brand new reports. It is titled China's Industrial Software Market, Opportunities and Challenges for European SMEs. And the report will be downloadable from the EU SME Centre's Knowledge Center in next month. Moving on, as a core service, the EU SME Centre offers confidential and practical first-line advice to businesses on again, business development, law, standards, conformity, and human resources, helping SMEs to save money while making sure that they have the right information to support them in their business decisions. So if you have any questions about China market, then please don't hesitate to reach out to the EU SME Centre. And furthermore, EU SME Centre also operates a training center, which provides online and offline trainings, like the workshop that we're having today. So those trainings, the aim of those will be to block the knowledge and skills gaps of SMEs entering China market. Finally, the EU SME Centre also operates an advocacy center, providing coherent, consistent, and consolidated voice of EU SMEs vis-à-vis the Chinese policymakers. So I will stop here today, and I wish everyone an exciting workshop on the industrial software topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Erika. Now, some next slide is going to be our China Chamber of Commerce. The Italian Chamber of Commerce, on a few words, is beyond the organization recognized by both the Italian government and the People's Republic of China. You represent the Italian business community in China. We have over 800 members, which multinational companies, public invested companies, and also small and medium enterprises. Our offices, as you will see from next slide, our offices are in Shanghai, Beijing, Chongqing, Chengdu, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and Suzhou. The CCC offers services, training, business networking opportunities, consultancy, and also marketing services to all of our members. And we also established 11 working groups covering different sectors. Most of our members are small and medium enterprises, and we are really pleased to cooperate and be partner with the EU SME Centre, because as more than ever and more than other kind of companies, more and medium enterprises need to have the support for understanding the Chinese market, opportunities, the challenges, and how to grow as most efficiently as possible. So sharing, as we will see from this workshop, it's important to develop new strategies and also boost new activities. So I thank in advance all the speakers of today, and I will give the floor to Melanie.
Sorry. I'll just start my sharing my slides at the moment. Will it be okay? Okay. So here we see the we can see the slides. Actually, it's a great privilege for me to be invited here to help presenting the report and give everyone a preview on what's going to enclose and to be analyzed in the report. So it's the opportunities and challenges for European SMEs in China industrial software sector. And so in the report and as well as today's presentation, we will going to see three sections in general: market overview, key policies and regulations, market access, and opportunities and challenges. So first of all, for general perspective, industrial software is a significant factor in the development process of intelligent manufacturing. So in recent years, because of the global focus on Industrial 4.0, along with a slowdown in the economic growth, China has put more focus on promoting intelligent manufacturing as well as the industrial internet. So since the issuing of the Made in China 2025, the famous policy document by the State Council in 2015, supportive policies for the development of the industrial internet and software has been released every year. Relevant quantitative tasks have been set for the years of like 2022 and 2025, sorry. For instance, the goals for 2022 on intelligent manufacturing equipment is to achieve a 400 trillion Chinese yuan sales revenue. And now, of course, we are going to take a look at the market size. So in 2022, based on the data we have, the size of the global industrial software market reached $456 billion with a growing rate of 4.6 year-on-year. And China's share of the global market in the same year accounted to 70.5, but its annual growth rate accounted to 24.8%. So based on the data released by the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, the MIIT of China, China's industrial added value made up of 22% of that in the world. So it means that China's market growth rate of the industrial software sector actually greatly exceeds the worldwide level. And now in this slide, we'll talk about the competition. So as you can see in the diagram, Besides the big growing potentials, what EU SMEs may largely benefit is that the industrial software market in China has low presence of the local developers and the quite strong competitive advantages that foreign enterprises already have here. So regarding the 4 products categories that are commonly classified in China, which is R&D design, manufacturing control, business management, maintenance, and operation, foreign enterprises are mostly dominant, especially with the R&D design category. In Chinese market, however, domestic players take on the lead with mid and low-end products in the business management category with a percentage of 17, and the rest are mostly occupied by the foreign stakeholders and enterprises actually. And then in the next slides, we're going to see the big growth potential by figure. So more data suggests China would embrace a big leap on industrial software sales in the coming years, with an average high growth rate of 15.6%, as we see in the previous slides. And the local experts would presume that based on current data, China's industrial software market size is expected to reach like 400 billion Chinese yuan by 2025. So in the diagram in this slide, we can see that the blue column, which represents the software product revenue in China, is steadily increasing, whereas the orange line that represents the revenue growth rate of industrial software is also rising. And the percentage of number expand along the years. So now, what are the growth potentials of China's industrial software sector? We're going to discuss here. Where does it come from and what are the drivers? So the answer is actually quite simple. After entering the intelligent and digital developing area, the period, as well as experiencing the start and the implementation of new concepts such as carbon peak, carbon neutrality in China as well as in worldwide, the manufacturing industry has gone through more reforms and transitions. Industrial software, as a significant tool and base for such transitions, have been promoted in China with support from different perspectives, 3 perspectives to be exact. Firstly, as we explained in the previous slides, the obvious big potential, because market needs always initiates demands and growth. And then secondly, the new technologies. New demands will also be generated from needs from new functions such as evolution of the technique, forms and patterns for industrial software, and easier development of a large-scale industrial software, then a quicker development of industrial intelligence. And thirdly, policy support. After the issuance of the Made in China 2025, again, the important document, more attention was drawn towards the industrial software sector, particularly since 2020. A series of significant policy documents have been published on the national level as well as on regional level. And we'll explain more of these contents in the next section. And then again, for the application scenarios, similar to chips and operation system sectors, industrial software covers a variety of products, techniques, and application scenarios, as you see. The complexity of the sector not only lies in its wide sectoral range, but also in the abundant product type and the difficult manufacturing technique. So based on product usage, as we explained before, the application scenarios for industrial software in China are mainly and commonly categorized as like R&D design, manufacturing control, operations and maintenance, and business management. So we have a chart in the report that you will see when it's released. We categorize the different kind of products into under different categories that you will see which one would be yours and which markets would be more benefit or promising for you. And then now we move to the key regions and the players. So the top 5 regions in China for software as a whole, they have the top 5 revenue in 2021 were, first of all, the capital Beijing, and then Guangdong province, Jiangsu province, Zhejiang province, and Shandong province. So these areas benefit from a more developed economy and the aggregation of industrial enterprises, which henceforth leads to a higher demand for industrial software. So speaking of key players, as you may see in the chart on the right side, we pick one foreign and one local player in each main category, and we give some basic information on how they're doing now in China in the report. So I believe the top foreign players in China are also giants in the international market as well. So they're quite well known to all. So, and you probably will be more interested in the local players that we analyze if you're located in Europe at the moment. So in summary, the market potential for substantial growth is evident, and foreign players will face, but the foreign players will face a fiercer competition in the categories of manufacturer control and business management. So make their share in these two fields would be a little bit more difficult, but they still have chances. The strong presence of foreign enterprises in product categories of R&D design, along with the maintenance and operation, lies in the abundant experience from years of advanced manufacturing techniques. And such advantages would still have global enterprises, especially EU SMEs, to play an important role in China. So especially under the national strategy and the determination for the digital and the green transition in traditional, especially manufacturing sectors. So now section 2, we're going to talk about the key policies and regulations. So such contents could be quite long and complicated. So here I would just give you a preview and a structure of the framework that's what China has been doing on the national level and the regional level for the policies and regulations that have been issued. So actually on a general perspective, since the 13th five-year plan period, China has issued the Made in China 2025. And it aims at reinforcing the support and the definition for the manufacturing sector, and then move to the 15th five-year plan period because of a complex of factors like the economic growth, and the external circumstances, as well as the COVID actually. China's support for industrial software has grown strongly in the policy perspective, and it's basically inclined to foster the domestic sector and the players while improving the innovation and the R&D capabilities. So here in this slides, you can firstly see the main policies from development orientation, and 2 issued by the State Council, and 3 are issued by the MIT. You will definitely find more details in the report. So again, we're just giving you a general idea. And then in the next slides, here are the 3 other topics that we covered in the report that will help you understand the key policies and regulations on the national level. So first one is most importantly like IPR. I think many SMEs and the European stakeholders will pay attention to this. And then the engaging in international actors and the government's incentives. So regarding engaging international actors and government incentives, so in general, China attached great importance on foreign cooperation with 2 different approaches, which is bringing in and going out. So in the industrial software sector, the strategy especially welcomes and favors the enterprises with strong R&D capabilities. Favorable policy supports are issued to encourage in-depth cooperation between local and foreign stakeholders on software R&D, the standard formulation, products and services, as well as intellectual property. And specific preferential government policies would include fiscal support and tax deduction. So in 3 perspectives in general, for software enterprises, for SMEs, and for foreign-funded enterprises. So different regulation and policy documents depicts in the requirements and qualifications you see here. So EU SMEs may have the chance to benefit from all these preferential policies, but one precondition that you need to notice is that all the favorable policies in China would require the enterprise or the developer to have a business entity registered here. And then now we move to the regional level. So as you may know, for the China's governance system, so once the national level policy or strategy is issued, the regional policies and regulations would follow successively from different areas. And then the regional level policies and regulations would include more practical measures or supportive details for the enterprises or the developers to understand or to implement. So we actually, since 2020, we tracked a series of documents issued by different regions from like Shanghai, Guangdong, Beijing, and Chongqing, etc. We actually had a list in the report that you can see from different regions. And in the report, we actually analyze in detail the two regions that we listed in this slide, the Shanghai and the Guangdong, because they are quite like typical and probably will be more favorable for the EU stakeholders. You can check it out when the report is out. And then actually now we move to the third part is the market access. So speaking of market access, the entry channels for softwares would be quite mutable or abundant. So first we'll see these ways will be applicable for the companies to enter Chinese markets, the direct sale through Chinese agents, resellers of platforms, and the representative office, wholly foreign owned enterprise, joint venture startups in incubators. So technically, foreign companies may sell their software products through their own website or e-commerce platforms hosted abroad. So to Chinese customers based in mainland China. It seems the most direct way for EU SMEs, but despite the difficulties, you might encounter, a seller may have for the Chinese customers, for example, like the different payment channels, very limited marketing to your target customers, and the different online shopping preference and habits. So despite all that difficulty you might encounter in the business operation, most importantly, the direct sale may not comply with China's laws and regulations for cybersecurity data and personal information protection. So this is something that I think the EU SMEs must pay attention, because these laws have an extraterritorial outreach applying as well as to foreign entities processing personal information or like natural persons based in China. So it means that any Chinese organization or natural person may report the foreign company to Chinese cybersecurity authorities. Although it's not likely that the fines can be enforced to the company, but the access to its website or e-commerce might be blocked. So that's a risk that the EU SMEs need to evaluate when they try to approach the Chinese customers in mainland China with direct sale. So the other ones I think are quite common, and you will find more supportive information or guidelines in the report, and then I would just won't spend much time on it. And now the next part regarding the market access requirements, we're going to talk about the licenses and the certification requirements. So first one is the software copyright registration scheme. And the software copyright registration scheme was set up by China to protect the rights and interests of software copyright owners, obviously. And here we list the relevant regulations that this scheme is conformed with or based on. It's actually not a mandatory registration scheme, but it is very important for software copyright protection for the owners within China. And here you can also see the application process with 5 steps on the right side of the slides, which is filing in the application form, submission of the application documents, acceptance of the application by registration agency, examination, obtainment of the registration certificate finally. So why it's necessary, why it's very important. Again, it's not mandatory, but it might be the strongest tool that you will have to protect your RPR and your copyright. So you might want to read more in the report. And in next slides, you will see a sample of the certificates that you will get. You can see that it's bilingual, both in Chinese and English. And the registration of the software copyright will be completed within like 30 working days from the date of the application acceptance. And the registration cost, what's friendly is the registration cost would in general for less than 500 Chinese yuan, so not very much, and which varies, but it will vary from different kind of applications as a regular cost. But if you have additional requirements like extension or to see you in custody of software source program within the authority, then there will be some additional fees, which is also reasonable and not very high. And again, speaking of the softwares, the license and the certifications, I think cybersecurity and data protection is a topic that we must speak about. So China has significantly strengthened its regulatory regime for cybersecurity, data, and personal protection information. As we know, there are many regulations and new laws are released in the past 2 years, and then significantly they would impact a certain software as well as the cyber and data activities. So here we list all in this slides, also in the report, we list all the mandatory management measures for the industrial software products. But please note that all these schemes or assessments are mandatory, but they only apply to the products that falls within the jurisdiction. For example, for the security assessment for cross-border data transfers, if the software do not have a function or requirements or needs to transfer any data cross-border, then the assessment is not needed. So for the EU SMEs, what we would suggest is for you to have a professional staff or measures or somebody to provide you a guideline to help you to analyze and to identify whether your products are applied or are falls within the category of these schemes, and in order to avoid any unnecessary potential risks. And I think for EU SME Centre would be a very good helping organization for you to start and to consult such issues and questions. And then, so speaking of the taxes, because many softwares would be sold online or without a media, which is maybe we can copy with a US drive or just send online after the payments, kind of stuff. But we will still brief you with the tax policies with entity in China or sell through local resellers. So there are actually different taxes involved when selling products to China. So these largely depend on which country is the seller officially a tax resident of. So again, you will find more information within the report, and here we will give you the structure. And specifically in the scenario that EU company sells its industrial software products through a Chinese reseller, what we want to remind or to let the EU SMEs to notice is that based on the licensing agreements, the following, the taxes will be involved. And the equivalent amount in RMB of tax will be paid by the Chinese reseller or buyer on a withholding basis. So therefore, the EU sellers must ensure that their sales contract illustrates clear provisions on whether the amount to be paid by the buyer is net or gross. So in order to avoid receiving a lower amount than expected. Here, again, I want to emphasize a bit more on the taxes regarding the direct sale from EU. So if a company sells directly from EU, no taxes will be charged by China, but will be charged by the country where the seller is located. So, but again, this approach is not fully legal. It's in somewhere in a gray zone. So as illustrated, we explained in the previous slides. So we, again, to advise the EU SMEs to be very discreet when you're trying to use these ways or these channels to approach China customers, because you may have some risks. And here, again, to summarize, I think the most part that would attract our audience would be the opportunities and challenges that we will summarize in the report. And here I would just give you a heads up or the preview. So again, as we showed by the data, the size and the further growth potential of China's industrial software market would be the first and a very natural opportunities for the EU SMEs that would attract the more developers and enterprises here into this big market. And more opportunities will come from China's digital and green transition because the country is upgrading its industrial and manufacturing sectors. That would be a big potential. And then new technologies will create new demands for industrial software. This is something we just explained because the new technologies will generate new areas or application scenarios for the new softwares and the technologies, and then the market is growing bigger. And other opportunities will also, of course, include, as you know, China will always have like subsidies, supportive policies, so attractive government incentives, preferential policies, and the support would also be very helpful from both national and regional levels. And then last but not least, the competitive advantage of the EU industrial software SMEs, you know, what you have, what capabilities you own, the technologies that you have would be another strong tool for you to enter the Chinese market with competition to win the customer, to get a market share. So again, after the opportunities, we're definitely going to, you know, cover a little bit on the challenges. So the challenges first is obvious, the localization needs of Chinese clients, you know, because of the language barrier and also the preference and the cultural difference. There might be some more works that the EU SMEs would need to do in order to get a better localization solution for the Chinese customers. And then the next, still not optimal intellectual property protection system in China. I think this, yeah, everyone would understand. It's the system, the protection system in China is improving, but probably still not detailed or perfect enough. So everyone would, you know, be advised and to be more careful on this in this topic. And then cybersecurity and data protection requirements increases compliance requirements. It may also not only increase your risks, it might also cause some more costs because you might have to establish a data center or a local team when your business is big enough in China to support and to be compliant with the government requirements. So again, last, uncertainty from the geopolitical changes, you know, the decoupling and the, you know, some of the restrictions, the stuff that, but again, these are just, you know, to give you a framework, and that's going to be more detailed or going to be more specifically covered in the report. Which I think would definitely will help the EU SMEs to get to know the market better. And again, so now I'm just taking the opportunity, which would be a very short time, to briefly introduce my company. So we are BESTAO Consulting. We are a company based in China. Our business and technology consultancy with a focus on regulatory compliance and government affairs. And we help our global clients to better understand the complex challenges of the regulatory environment and the market access requirements across many sectors in China. For example, as you see here, the IT, ICT, medical devices, automotive, electronic machinery, and many more. So we would also offer a set of tailor-made services according to our clients' needs, which we can be a good partner or supportive to help you getting into the China market or help you understand the China market, as well as the EU SME Centre. We are all partners, and we're always here to help you with what you might have in hand and what you need. And our headquarters in Beijing, and we have offices in Vancouver and Melbourne. And you can see the contact info of our company here. So our website and social medias will always keep updating with the regulatory news on the sectors that we mainly cover. And so welcome to check it out. So again, that would be end of my presentation. I would really like to thank the EU SME Centre again to inviting me here, and thank all the audience to take your time to listen to my presentation. I hope you will enjoy the report, and I believe it will be helpful. Thank you very much. That will be all today.
So thank you very much, Melanie, for your explanation of the software market in China. As we understood, it's really important for small and medium enterprises deeply understanding all the opportunities and challenges that the company can face, and also to understand all the regulations. So thank you very much. So now let's, please, if anyone has any questions, you can write in the chat from online, and we are offline, you can also give some time after for the question. Then for the second part of these of the seminar, we will talk with the managers that will share their experiences, best practices, and also their company solution. The first speaker is going to be Alberto Fidato, who is the APAC Sales Director for Wurth Industry China Ltd. Is going to talk about auto maintenance and remote assistance by using mixed reality platform. So Alberto, I will give you the floor to you.
Thank you, Giada. Can you hear me well? I hope that my audio is clear. I would like to thank you, the EU SME Centre, the Italian Chamber of Commerce, and of course you, Giada, to welcome me and my company to present the topic that you see in the screen today. I will try to be short, and if you have some questions, I will drop my contacts in the chat so you can ask also later on. And yes, so today we are talking about some mixed reality software. But before starting, I would like to give some info about my company. The company Wurth is a family-owned business since more than 70 years, and we are involved in the industrial materials, for which we have a sales revenue last year of 7.1 billion euros. So you can imagine how many customers we are servicing all around the world, and also here in China since more than 25 years. And when you think about industrial products, I'm talking about this kind of products. So a little bit different from the topic of today of softwares, but since 4 years now, we have a partnership with Microsoft. So starting from 2017, we have started a project with Microsoft in order to develop software. And in this case, we call it a platform, because it's running on a cloud and as well on some hardware that I will show you in a minute. But before going a little bit deeper in detail, I would like to start from zero in order to allow you to understand better what does it mean also mixed reality, because nowadays we always hear about virtual reality, augmented reality. So there are all these letters that stands for something. So mixed reality is a kind of enhanced augmented reality. So in your visual range that you see in reality, you will be able to upload holograms through smart glasses, and you will be able to interact with these holograms in front of you. So basically you will have a laptop without a screen and without a keyboard that you will control just with your hands, all these different kind of holograms. Later on, I will be able to share a video that will give you a better understanding on what I'm talking about. And why we invested in this sector? Because we and many others are foreseeing a big market potential, that from this statistic in 2025, our sector on the VR and AR application is this engineering side. It will worth 4.7 billion US dollar. So if you take out for all the other segments that could be consumer related to or video games and so on, this is already a really big piece of market where investing some capitals from our group makes really sense. And of course, we would like to help our industrial customer to be more sustainable and to be more productive with this kind of solutions. But let's go deeper in details. How does it look like, our platform? And what is it, our platform? So Holo Maintenance is a remote assistant platform that helps professionals in manufacturing to collaborate remotely and carry out complex and technical troubleshooting tasks. So you can see from this picture on the right side of the PPT, of the slide of the PPT, what we call in our Holo Maintenance an operator wearing these smart glasses and projecting some holograms in his production line. What are these holograms meant to be? Are holograms of our platform that is allowing him to interconnect and having a video call with a remote expert of his company, helping him to troubleshoot some issues in the production line. And since this is a cloud-based platform, when he log in it, he will be able to download different files that will help him to achieve his target. Yeah, so this is a really user-friendly and one-stop platform. And we are able to upload files like PDF, JPEG, MP4, and FBX formats. FBX is a format for 3D models. And with this kind of files, we allow all our customer operators to have in front of their eyes pictures, catalogs, video on how to solve some kind of installations, and having their hands free to work, basically. That is a really good solution in many situations, but also to have the possibility to have an audio video chat with a remote expert in their company. So as we partnership together with Microsoft, we are using the hardware from their brand, that it's the HoloLens, that now it's the HoloLens 2. If you're not really familiar with this device, you can understand as a computer, as I said, without keyboard and without screen. So you will control all the holograms with your hands and move the windows like in a big tablet. Yeah, and then we will have 3 different operators. That is the software part of the platform that will be the player of the platform itself, with different tasks, since the administrator is the one managing the platform, creating the data in the platform. That is a web app platform, so you just need a connection to internet to access the platform, and creating in it all the different products and files that you need to achieve the targets of maintenance in your company. And of course, we have the operator who can log in the HoloLens and have at his disposal all the information that the administrator created. The expert is the one connecting with the operator, of course, from his, most of the time is his computer, in order to start a video call with him or with her in order to support and guide him through his tasks. As you can see on the bottom of this slide, we have PC, tablet, phone for each of the users and the HoloLens for the operator, because this is a cross-platform, cross-device platform. So we have one possibility of the administrator creating all the data in the cloud on the website and having the operator downloading through the HoloLens, or having the operator calling the expert in order to start the support call for him. We are also develop other solutions and other way to interconnect even without the HoloLens that, due to time limits, I will give to the people that are interested to know more after this webinar. This is how does it look like in our web app. So there is a website where the expert is connecting. There is the incoming call from our operator, and after I click on the answer, I started to see exactly what the operator is seeing, including the real surrounding of him, so the production line, the manufacturing facility, and as well all the holograms. In order to allow you to see a little bit better what I'm talking about, I will share just for a few minutes a video that it's sometimes even more self-explaining than a PPT. Here we are in our warehouse in China, and I give a demonstration of what look like working with our platform. You see I'm moving with my hands all of these windows that are projecting a video, for example, of installation of some of our products. We are having PDF files with different pages, and you see these are really big files. This is a recording session, so sometimes what you see is not super clear, but for the one using the HoloLens are really clear. We are having here also 3D files that we can also produce and develop for you of our own products, and as well some of the products of our existing customer. And, you know, this could be the operator at the production side trying to open all the available files to process some of his maintenance. But if he's not able to solve it through the menu of the platform, he can call the remote expert to process the video call, as I show you in the previous presentation that is in here. As a last part of the platform, finish the call, the platform will create a ticket that will be saved in the platform and can be used to review what happened during this call. So 10 minutes are really limited to show everything, but with this last slide, you can see that it's a really easy and really friendly platform for our industrial customer, with many different features that are targeted, especially during these COVID times in China, to help to connect companies and suppliers that are not able to come to China to process their task with this kind of platform. So I could talk much more, but if I would prefer that the interested people in this platform will contact me directly, and I also have to leave the stage to the next presenter, since 10 minutes are already over. Thank you.
Thank you very much on that. It's really interesting seeing how this high technology can reduce the complexity of everyday jobs, and also can improve the efficiency of the work itself. So from high technology to another company, which is Roboris SRL. We have here Mirko Sgarbi, co-CEO, and is going to explain us Eureka Virtual Marchining, which provide advanced simulation and optimization of NC program for CNC and industrial robots. So I will give the floor to Mirko. Thank you very much for joining us at the center.
Thank you, Giada. Thank you, the SME Center, to allow us to be here. Let me share my screen now. Can you see my screen? Okay, thank you, everybody. Hello, everyone. I'm Mirko Sgarbi. I'm an electronic engineer with a passion of computer science, and I spent almost all my life creating software, mainly for manufacturing. I also working with university and research centers, and I've been included in several European projects. In 2001, I founded Roboris together with Gianluca Bioli. Well, we are both still in the company. We are the owners of the company, and we are still working actively in the company. Roboris is a software house which produces commercializes software products for virtual machining with CNC and industrial robot. And I show you later on what it means. We are a small enterprise, but we have our own subsidiaries and main distributor in USA, Germany, France. And I'm proud to say that now, after 10 months, we have our own office in China, in Suzhou. Well, we are also resellers around the world, in Japan, in Brazil, for example, and other European countries. We have 20 years of history right now, and well, we have 1,000 seats around the world, and we have an important customer base within leading multinational companies. What we like to do is to enter in the Chinese market and become a leading player in the CNC machine simulation and optimization. China for sure is the biggest market for CNC machines, so it's very important for our software. And but we strongly believe that we can also help the Chinese industry to become more efficient and to help the government to reach the goal of decarbonization. Why? Because we sure we have a product in our product suite that allows to reduce the energy consumption and the carbon emission. And well, if 100% of CNC machines in China adopt our system and they save 10%, the saved amount of carbon emission will be huge. Of course, not all CNC machines will fit our software. Not all of them are enough responsive, and not all of them are doing million turning operations. So, but we believe that we can help a lot. The Roboris software is designed and developed internally in Italy, in the headquarters in Pisa, close to the Leaning Tower. And it is a product suite composed by Eureka G-Code, Eureka Chronos, and Eureka Robots. Eureka G-Code, well, Eureka G-Code brings a digital replica of the CNC machines in the screen in the office. So it's possible to make any kind of test in a virtual environment without risk. As you know, as we know, CNC machines, they have a computer, and they are programmed. Then a program created by hands or by CAM software can include mistakes, and mistakes could bring to big crashes, expensive crashes, on the wasting time on the shop floor, and not efficient process. So without software, we help to reduce these possible issues. In this slide, you can see a simple case where with only 3 machines, which is a very small number of machines. If we consider a time for the test on the machine, 10% of the total time in the shop floor, well, if we eliminate or if we drastically reduce these 10%, we save a lot of money. Here a list of some customer, and well, we have satisfied customer around the world. Eureka Chronos, well, it's a software with a lot of artificial intelligence inside, made by us. The aim of the software is the optimization of existing G-code programs. So instead of replacing the hardware and the existing software, Eureka Chronos takes input in existing G-code and create a new one, which is better, with more performance, and with the reduced machine time, less tool wear, less vibrations, and less machine stress, and well, also less energy consumption. Eureka Chronos is our priority in China for many reasons, because it's also a product very easy to use, easy to configure, easy to demonstrate. Easy to demonstrate also the value, in particular the machine time saving, because if we show that the customer can save 10% of the machine time, immediately he can understand the value of the software, because he can transform this amount of time in money. Okay, and beside the saved time, because we we optimize the cutting conditions, we achieve also a tool saving. So we reduce the tool cost, which is an important cost, and also we with Eureka Chronos we reduce the energy saving. Sorry, we reduce the energy consumption because we avoid the energy wasted in vibrations or heating, but we focused on the cutting the material. And in this way, we save money and we save carbon emissions. Again, a few customers. The other software we have in the product suite is Eureka Robot. Eureka Robot allows to deal with the industrial robot as it was a CNC machines, and allows to program the robots as it was a CNC machine with the usual CAD/CAM programming. So we start from a 3D model, we create a toolpath on it, and we transform that toolpath in a robot program efficiently, and we simulate the robot movement in order to avoid potential collisions, singularities, or other typical issues in the robot programming. The software is able to deal with with all robot work cell with any complexity, and can be interfaced with the most popular CAM system on the market, including the Chinese ZW CAM system. Customers for your robot. Well, Finally, let me spend a few words on the possible clients' concerns that the products can fix. We have customers struggling because they have expensive machine, very complex and expensive machines, and expensive parts. And can you imagine if you have a big rush during the machining? The risk is to stop the production and have a big expensive damage. So in this case, Eureka G-Code is the perfect software because it allows to prevent, to test in advance, and verify potential errors, programming errors, and avoid crashes. Secondly, there are cases where the time spent at the shop floor to test the programs is very high in comparison with the production time. And so this is a very bad situation, and customers are struggling to reduce this machine setup time. Again, moving the test from the shop floor to the office will reduce this machine setup time, and the CNC machine can continue the production without stops. Other points, we fit cases where customers want to be more, have more capacity, production capacity, more productivity, and in this case, allows to reduce the machining time, and also the other potential issue like the tool breaks and the tool wear on the tool. So Eureka G-Code, Eureka Chronos can optimize and improve also the competitiveness of the company. So this is briefly what we are doing. It's a software for manufacturing, and we really hope that the software will be a good, could help the Chinese industry to reach their goals and be more efficient. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you have questions, try to answer.
By not only with the efficiency, but also with sustainability, which is also really important, and it's something on which local government is focusing on. Now, I would say to go back to basics. So we're not talking about high technology manufacturing, but we're going to talk about ERP system. So we're talking with Matt you of Monitor ERP system. It's going to give us a comprehensive overview about the ERP system and how we can improve and manage the control over our needs.
Thank you. So thanks for the invitation for us to join today's event. I'm very happy to be here and share my points of view of ERP. When we're talking about ERP, it seems like a very traditional old topic of this. Actually, I have the same feeling at the beginning, but when I review my previous experience with the company, I realized how important the ERP it is, and I think every company should have it. So can I have my slides show? We can move up like this. That's this way. Here it is. So my topic for today is ERP, I think, is the backbone for a company to run. So my agenda for today will be covered two. So my topic for today will just cover like two topics. First of all, I want to introduce a bit about monitoring our company and the global company. Second, topic about our story in China. So monitor as a global company. Today, we have many different subsidiaries and different rep offices or partners in different countries. And we come from Sweden. And actually it comes from this laws of Sweden, which is very close based. That's why they can just focus on doing something for many, many years. So what we are doing today is we have over 300 employees all over the world. And our office is in 11 different countries. In Asia, we have 2 headquarters. One is located in South of Asia, in Malaysia and Singapore. The other one is in China. So in China, we have the head office in Shanghai. And today, over 100 manufacturing companies in over 30 countries using monitor. And we are mainly focused on the manufacturing industry. So in China, as I mentioned, in China, we have previous. So today we start in Shanghai because this is the place where we have lots of manufacturers and a lot of companies that come from Europe, and most of them are SMEs. And later we realized we can extend our business in the different areas, some in the south of China and some in the west of China. And some customers stay located in the north of China. And our customer is 100% in manufacturing industry. So it comes from the car spare parts, electronics, medical devices, different industries. So we will say we cover also, sometimes we say our customer can really build a mobile car because most of their partners is using monitor to produce the components. And the company has a very long history. Here you can see the picture. In 1982, we have our first version released. It's a very old computer, and the technical guy is doing what he is doing is to create a home for parts. And then today, in 2020, we have released our latest version 1.25, which uses the latest technology, and we can really communicate to the machine, the robots itself, to make the data, and doing the production planning, make the production reporting, so cover all the areas you need for the manufacturing industry. And what we can provide is a complete solution which covers like manufacturing, stock, reporting, accounting, sales, purchase, everything. And this is actually make us challenging China markets, I must say, because in China markets, everybody thinks ERP is just like sales, purchase, and warehouse. That's it. And some company even thinking ERP is just an accounting software. It's nothing else. So when we come into China and we say we are ERP providers, they say, wow, you are just doing accounting job. So company support us. So totally different mindset in China when we come here. And of course, during our journey in China, we have changed our names several times. So we say maybe we are providing a moving system, and some people may think know about it. Sometimes we say we are a mass system. This is quite popular in China. They say this is a manufacturing execution system. And then later we see how we provide so many functions. Maybe we just say one system, remove the ERP. But in these years, I think we need to insist who we are. And I realized ERP is more and more important. So we come back by using more than ERP system as our company name and in the market. We are ERP company. And this is the right definition for ERP. Something you are wrong. So you want information. And in different countries, we provide over certain different languages, and for every country, we provide different languages. So in Melanie's report, we mentioned if we want to do business in China, we have to get some license. It's a different thing. We spend a lot of time to get some software certificates and pass the certificates for the tax office, which is our accounting software can really meet the local standard. So a lot of localization So this is how the software looks like. So we provide the desktop clients version, and then we also provide the mobile version. So it can cover all the different needs from the customer. So this is the roadmap for our company. It's a closer. Okay. So this is a family-owned company. So it's established in 1974. And in the Melanie's report, he mentioned for the management software, the foreign brand, the popular with SAP. And I would say SAP was established in 1972, which is 2 years older than us. So we have a very long history in this industry. And so this is what's my focus. My focus is to share my story in China. So my story in China actually we start from 2014. At that moment, we start our office in China, and there's a Wurth Industry, so it's a foreign investment by the company. So this is our roadmap. This is our history in China. So in 2014, I joined the company at this moment. We only have 3 employees, and we stay in the office just about 5 square meters. So very small. Everybody I would say just face to face, we sit like that. And we start with just a very small team just for implementation. What we are doing at this moment is to support our customers in China to help them to implement the ERP system. I think I just finished my first job as a Swiss ERP company for 9 years in Germany. I still cannot understand why ERP is so important. So the time goes to 2016, and the headquarters said, okay, why not we do some sales in China? So we added a sales person, and we established a sales team. I think this roadmap is very similar to most of the SMEs when they come to China. So when they arrive China, they tend to wish they can do a lot of business in China, and they just start with the web office to understand the market, to see how the market is, whether we should invest more money. So we start very simple, very small, but when time goes by, in 2018, when I left Monitor, I joined SAP because it said this is like the crown of the ERP industry. So I think I want to experience a bit how a big company looks like. But after 1 year experience, I think I love Monitor. So I come back because in Monitor, it's really focused on what he is doing, and I can actually say something and make it happen. So this is something really attractive. So I come back to Monitor and become the CEO of the company here in China. And as I'm a Chinese, so I know the market's a bit more than foreigners in the EST. So I think we should put more focus on the local market. So we started to have a marketing team at this moment. And we started to do our in-house accounting also before. We have some other company to do the accounting for us. And then when time goes by in 2020, we finally have our development team because a lot of customization, dashboard, a lot of local requirements have to be done here. The biggest difference I would say is about mobility. In Europe, people just one very simple example for the payments. In Europe, people use credit card, but in China, we just use mobile. So Chinese market is really a fan for mobile industry. So we started with a lot of development, and then in this year, we finally create our supporting, which can really increase customer satisfaction. I share this story is not just about ourselves. I would say most of our customers and most of the SMEs, they actually have a similar growth path like this. So start very small, then we have more and more team and more them. So in my journal, I realized and I found out we had some pain, some challenges with us. So this is the 3 main challenges we have today. I was not today. It actually is 3 years ago. So it's about the communication issue, the workflow issue, and the decision-making issue. So for the communication issue, I want to know how many new leads, sales new leads do I have, And what's the project status for the people's customer? Do we have any overdue amounts we should send out the payments reminder to my customer or the supplier will ask us to pay something? What's the cash flow forecast for it? In the last 2 years, it's really challenging for us because we cannot visit the customer, we cannot do marketing activities. Cash flow become a very big challenge for us. So I want to know what's the status. And then with the team growing bigger and bigger, how can I really optimize my workflow? How can I make a good code and agreement? And the issue should be handled by which team, who should do it? And when I'm facing problem, who should I ask for help for? And do I have any instruction or standard workflow I can follow? Because we have a lot of new hires come to the office. How can we do this in the same way in the long? So this is also some topics that's on the table. So I need to solve this. Then the last thing is about making decisions. Making decisions, especially like us, it's not just me making decisions. I have to report to the headquarters should understand why you want to do this. They want you to give them a reasonable reason. So should I hire more people? Should I move to a big office? Should I set up subsidiaries in another city? Then should I promote the needs? So how can I do this? So I realized, okay, we have to use a system. And then at that moment, I start to realize how important ERP is. So I require everybody to report the information to the system, like we start to use the CRM, we start using projects, and then we can easily get the accounts and payable, we see all this, and then we can see this cash flow forecast on the system. And I have required every department to write their workflow and create their instructions in the system. So everything can do right. Not only do it in the system, they can do right in the system. This is very important for me. And the last thing, as they are doing right in the system, I can use the historical and forecast data from the system to estimate whether I should need more workforce, more employees to support the company to grow. So this is my story and about the challenges with the growth. And the last thing is I want to take some codes from my customer. They will say, by using monitor, we can manage our previous one is they can manage the company in a more structured way. Because everything is crystal clear. You can really see it and you can really manage it in a better way. So from our customer saying, this is calling that I don't know whether we know this. Pretty much like which understand the fast plan. One of the fastest in the world, and in Italy we have Roboris. And in Sweden we have HoloBusiness. So the CEO of the company said, ERP is the backbone of the company, and they trust all the data in the ERP system, and they have to use the ERP system to support the company. Today, Cognizant has used Monitor for over 18 years, and every day we support them to use each super part. So that's all I share with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. The system is really well-known system, and I think it's it's important to start from the beginning, and then implementing time to time will be more models. So thank you very much for your time and for sharing your experience. Now, last but not least, we are going to have Roboris, which is the manager director of Fastems Shanghai, and is going to discuss and explain us the manufacturing management system in the metal cutting industry. So thank you very much, Robert, for being here with us.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. Can somebody also help me with the slides presentation, please? Thank you very much. Okay, we are actually a company from Finland, Fastems. The name stands for Factory Automation Systems. Next, please. Yes, few facts about our company. We are a very old company. Something wrong with these numbers. Okay, never mind. We established in 1901, so it's really old company. We had our actually automation, us doing automation around machine tools. So we delivered our first system in 1982. So we have been doing this for 40 years. It's really pioneer in this automation around machine tools. Maybe one more thing I mentioned here is we have 550 employees, but we have among them over 100 people are software developers. So Fastems is actually a software house because our main competence or core competence is actually software. It's industrial software. Next slide, please. One more click. Maybe this is not the correct slide. Yes, that's correct. Yes. Yes, sorry for the delay. This is something we do. So we have all kinds of solutions working around machine tools. One of it is, yes, you can see we have quite many offerings. We have some simple ones. We have also some complex ones. And And this 8760 is actually our business idea. This is the yearly hours, so which comes from 365 by 24, which is actually our value. So if you buy Fastems automation, your machine can work all day long, all year long. So that's our business idea. Just for information. We are focusing on these companies which are producing small batches of big varieties. In this kind of manufacturing, averagely, every machine works only 2,000 hours a year. So it's really inefficient. And we are proposing 8760, which means our customers can improve dramatically. So we can really help our customers to grow their efficiency, grow their productivity, and also profitability. Yes, next please. We have quite many different solutions. We have kind of market entry level and kind of product. Then we have also customized one, so we can really match the needs of different customers. Fastems is actually very, very strong. I would say it's really leading in this kind of production. I mean, the customer has big varieties, but they have small volume. So we are able to help those customers hugely if they are producing mixed production. So we are very strong in this one. We are also global players in this area. We can also do this transfer line, but we are only doing this in Europe, not in China. Yes, our software is called MMS. It's a manufacturing management software. So we are able to plan very complicated production because our customers have small batches, but lots of products to manufacture. So we can help our customer to plan the manufacturing and also execute and also monitor. So our MMS can really make our customers' production under control. Next, please. We manage all the elements of production, for example, machine tool, fixtures, parts, NC programs, and tools. So everything is actually under MMS control. And also ERP. If you have ERP integrated with our MMS, you can download the production order directly from ERP. Please. Yes, so you don't have to manually input any orders, so you can get order directly from ERP. Then we can land all the orders for you and start manufacturing, and then feedback the production status to ERP. Next, please. You can also, of course, input order manually, so we have both possibilities for customer. Next, please. Let's go. Yes. When we have order in our MMS, and we can have really clear guidelines for operators, operator know what he needs to do, and he has all the time slots, and he knows when to work and what to work. And for the tools, because if you operate the machine needs to have tools there, so we can also help the tool operators to make sure all the tools are there. And you can see the machine queues. Next, please. And if you're a production manager, you can see all the status of each machine, and you can see the production order status. And if you want to follow the stock of the production, you can also check it from this screen. Basically, everything is under your eye. Next, please. Next, please. Yes, we not only plan production, but also monitoring how your machine is doing, because you can only make money when your spindle is running. So we can see each machine's status, how they're working, and how many hours they're able to cut for each machine. Next, please. And you can see really your process. How smooth is your process? For example, the yellow color stands for waiting. So your machine is waiting for raw material, waiting for tools, or waiting for operator. And then the blue color means you manually intervene with the machine. Maybe there's some process issue or something went wrong, you manually intervene. So you can really see how good the production process is. Next, please. And you can see really the status of each machine. For example, this is machine 1. When time comes to 18.05, so 9.5 hours away from now, machine will stop. And why stop? Because machine lacking tools. All the tools are used up. So from 18.05, we will tell you what tool to prepare and how many tools. And then 21, 51, we prepare other tools. So you know what in advance to get the machine ready. Next. You can have all the machine status actually in one screen, so you know each machine status very nicely. And normally the boss don't want to see any red color. Red color means machine stop. And for example, machine 3, we will skip one element. Why we skip it? Because there's no tool there. So we will not wait anyone to make the tool there. Because our idea is 8760. We try to make the machine all the time running. Next.
We have some more video here.
Do you know how efficiently your machines and production are performing? With Fastems MMS 5 dashboard, you can have real-time production information with any web browser. The dashboard provides accurate and valuable information for operators right on the shop floor. You can customize your MMS dashboard views, reports, and meters for your specific needs. You can even create multiple views to clearly visualize your data. Limited only by your imagination. MMS 5 dashboard displays actions and moves in real-time 3D. And the dashboard is available in several languages. To learn more about the latest versions of MMS 5, contact your local Fastems representative.
Yes, our MMS is also web-based. So you can use your laptop, you can use your mobile phone. If you are traveling, you can check in the mobile phone and find out how your production is running. I think that's the last slide. Yes, we have also WeChat account. He wants to know about Fastems. Please just follow us. Sorry for the delay. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much also for sharing your experience in your company, high technology and high value services and software as well. I would like to thank all the speakers that participated today. I really big thanks to the EU SME Centre that organized this really important and really inspiring also webinar, the Italian Chamber of Commerce and also the Finnish Chamber of Commerce. So since we're running a bit out of time, but we have some questions, we will reply to all the questions by email. If you have any other, you can send to us. So I will kindly ask to the people that attend again offline here with us to give us your feedback by filling the form we will give you very soon. And for those that follow the event online to use this QR code and provide us your feedback. Hope everyone enjoyed this event and I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much again to the EU SME Centre for organizing this.
Thank you very much, Tiada. And yeah, if we can put the QR code here, thank you. So I'd encourage you to please scan the QR code to provide us feedback online. And of course, who is on site, then I'm sure you had the forms to fill in. We would very much appreciate your feedback. So thank you very much. And of course, if there are any questions about China market, about the software market in China, then please don't hesitate to reach out to EU SME Centre, or if you have any other question with regards to China market entrance, then of course contact us. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much again and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Also.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Yes. Very close. Yeah, because I didn't see my. Yeah, so I just want to share some very simple ideas about how the system Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We motivation. Sometimes people spend a lot of time to compare the data. It's not it's real. Exactly.
Thank you very much for
Thank you for inviting us.
No, really, I usually, unfortunately, there are like most only 1 hour and a half, not we can tell it's 2 hours.
It's always.
When you go, actually, very near to system. So, I think good, thank you very much.
Something else. Yeah.
If you can, in also in the content from the second speaker, yeah. You mentioned the right now your email address. Okay.